here at Cavs Media Day, and happy to have the president, basketball ops, general manager, head honcho, whatever you want to call him, the guy who's making all the decisions, putting this great team together, Koby Aultman, joining us on the Kenny and JT Show. Koby, thanks for making time. Basketball season already. Can you believe it?
I can't wait. Tomorrow is day one, and the anticipation is palpable. We're excited.
Hey, we're all excited after what we witnessed last year, the growth of the Cavaliers, the play-in tournament and everything. But you guys made some moves in the offseason. You didn't stand pat. I asked you when you were up at the podium about the addition of Donovan Mitchell. Let's talk a little bit more about how that all came about, because as media members, we're going, man, it'd be great. Oh, he doesn't want to come. Oh, they're interested. Oh, no, they're not. And then, boom, out of nowhere, you guys swoop in and get Donovan Mitchell. How did this all come about?
I think, our jobs, and I said this at Donovan's press conference, my job at its core is to bring the very best talent to Cleveland, Ohio, to play for the Cavs. And, Donovan truly is one of the best players in the world. And so when you hear of a player of his caliber potentially on the market, you do your job, you make your calls. I happen to have a great relationship with my counterpart at Utah. We've happened to do 4 or 5 deals over the years. So there was a level of comfort there just in terms of our discussions. And I labeled it as just something where we just hung around and kind of hung around and stayed in communication. I think we gave up some great value and some real asset value in terms of draft picks to acquire Donovan. When we acquired Donovan, he was 25 years old, 3-time All-Star, and those are rare opportunities. And to partner him with what we already have in-house was an opportunity that we couldn't pass up.
Koby, you mentioned anticipation. A lot of us are expecting, so I'll say expectation. How do you manage them both?
So, I think if we even didn't have the Donovan trade consummate, we're going to have some level of expectations this year, which were good. We played 84 games last year, went 0-2 in that play-in tournament, and wanted more. We had a bad taste in our mouths this offseason just because of the way the season ended. Obviously, we added a massive talent in Donovan, but the neat part of that is, we know Darius is going to be here for a long time. Evan's going to be here for a long time. Jared Allen has 4 more years on his contract, and then add Donovan, who has 3 more years on his contract. It's more than just this year. There's a real one-way here. We want these guys to grow together. We also want the internal growth of Evan Mobley to still be on center stage, and hopefully we're peaking for seasons to come.
In the introductory press conference, you welcomed us, and we appreciate you having us here today. But you also mentioned the Cleveland Guardians. There are so many similar. A young baseball team and a young basketball team. Our entire season, we've been comparing the two. To have a young team sneak up on, the veteran teams in the East was one thing. Now, moving into the second year with a young team again, what are going to be the main differences in your opinion?
Yeah, so I think obviously the Guardians have done such a fantastic job this year. They've been so much fun to watch. And I think the similarities, the joy that you see the players playing with and how much they enjoy playing with each other. And so there's a lot of similarities there. I think when we first started, the goal was, and I was saying 3 years ago when we started sort of this rebuild, was sustainable success in the city of Cleveland. I think why everyone's so excited about the Browns, Guardians, and the Cavaliers is there's a chance for sustainable success here in Cleveland for a long time with the age of these teams. Obviously, there's going to be change, but we have core groups in place that we're going to be here for a long time.
You played big ball last year, right? You had 3 guys that were close to 7 foot, and we're all like, what the hell are they doing? This is a 3-point – this is me, okay? Maybe not everybody but me. This is a 3-point shooting league. They're trying to play 3 7-footers out there. What the hell is Koby doing? Well, it worked. Now, you got rid of one, but you got something in return with Lowry going in the deal to Utah, and you get Donovan, but you still have 2 big guys there in Jared and Evan. So you didn't give up a whole lot defensively there. So how important was it to try and balance what worked last year, big ball, but also, as I asked you earlier, get somebody who can go get his, can shoot from beyond the arc, and even with Darius off the floor, could run point if necessary until Rubio gets back.
So one, give JB a lot of credit for certainly looking outside the box. He wanted to put our best players on the floor at all times, and the 3 of them happen to be 7-footers.
Right.
But I'll say this: the anchor to our defense, Jared Allen, when he went down last year, you can see how he really dropped off. Obviously, Evan, who we think should be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate coming up and perennially is a big part of that. And so we can keep the identity of our defense the same, even though we lost one of those 7-footers, to your point. And the system remains the same. Those two have a great connectivity. People talk about the connectivity on the offensive end usually when they're talking about that. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley has a great connectivity on the defensive end of the floor. They protect each other. Obviously, they protect the perimeter guys. And we still finished the year top 5 defensively in the NBA. So we're excited. We know that's going to be part of our identity. Obviously, you got that junkyard dog mentality. We want to win the scrap. All that stuff will still be a big part of who we are as a basketball team.
Koby, there was a lot of talk last year of, a nice mixture of veteran leadership and a lot of these young guys that were still on the team that really seemed to handle the pressure in the situations like that. But the other big story last year was the fact that it was really a question of injury. Is there going to be any difference in the approach this season of maybe time management? I mean, did that ever even sneak into play last year?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, we lost 2 ball handlers really early on in the season that were going to be big parts of who we were. And so, one, I think we have very good depth across a lot of positions. But to your point, having more weapons out there is going to be helpful in terms of how we navigate 82 games. 82 games is a lot. And we're asking our guys to do a lot. And so everything from rest, recovery, to practice days, all of it's on the table in terms of how we navigate these games, because we want to play long. We want to go further than we did last year. That's definitely a goal of ours. So we're cognizant of it. But these guys are still young, and they want to play. And so they're not going to say, well, I want to sit out a game. Right. But we'll definitely have a plan in place if and when the unexpected happens.
All right, last question. We'll let you go. I know you got to go elsewhere. JB's giving me that wrap-up signal. So
but this was fun. I appreciate this.
Hey, we appreciate you making time for us. You mentioned it's not championship or bust, but you just said you want to go further than you did last year. So the expectations for this season are what then? So
listen, we thought we had a really good year last year with 44 wins. Unfortunately, went 0-2 in the play-in, and want to go beyond that. I want to let these players dictate how far that is and what that goal is before I say anything. I want them to get together and practice, see what it looks like, and certainly grow together. But this is a real runway, and I want this to be sort of looked at as multiple years in terms of what success looks like. But certainly want to be playing some real playoff games and get those guys that experience this year and see where it goes.
Koby Aultman, thanks so much for the time. Congratulations on a great offseason, and looking forward to an outstanding regular season in the postseason as well.
Thank you, guys. My pleasure.
Thanks. Koby Aultman checking in with us here on the Kenny and JT Show. I'll be back with more right after this from Cavs Media Day. From Cavs